allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on the agenda is the first order of business, opening and reading of bids, letters of interest. Do we have any? No? Okay. Move to B. From the Commissioners, approval of the accounts payable docket.
Make a motion to approve the accounts payable docket.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Hazen, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Commissioner Dieter?
Aye.
Motion carries, docket approved.
We move to B. Bills passed by the county council ordinances number 7324, 7424, 7524, 7624, 7724, 7824, and 7924.
Make a motion to approve all ordinances.
Second that.
Commissioner Hazen?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter?
Aye.
Motion carries, ordinances approved by council are approved by commissioners.
We have approval of settlement agreement for Linda Smith and Andrea Smith.
This is a settlement of an automobile accident involving one of the county employees in the health department. And before you is a settlement agreement approving settlement of that claim.
Do you have any questions on that?
Sir.
I have a motion.
Motion to approve the settlement agreement between Linda Smith and Andrea Smith.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter?
Aye.
Motion carries, settlement agreement approved.
Thank you. Approval of the interlocal agreement with St. Joe County Airport Authority for the self-funded health benefit insurance plan. A presenter.
Good evening, Commissioners. Troy Scott with Gallagher Insurance, 1251 North Eddy Street, South Bend. We're here tonight on the interlocal agreement between St. Joe County and St. Joseph County Airport relating to the Unified Health Benefit Self-Insurance Plan. This agreement has been around since about 2010, I believe, and this is just a refresh of that agreement. And so I would ask that the Commissioners approve this agreement as presented. And I'm here to answer any questions.
Commissioner Hazen.
No question.
How many people does that cover there in their authority?
They're roughly right around 60 employees now.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have a motion for this agreement?
Make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement with St. Joe County Airport Authority for health insurance.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter?
Aye.
Motion carries, interlocal agreement approved.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Move to E, approval waiver and release agreement with Impact Networking Indiana LLC for Dukem Center.
How you doing? Richard Warfield, IT Director, San Joe County, third floor law offices. This is the contract to release Impact from doing any work for Dukem Center anymore. We've already taken over some of the things, but this will release them from doing everything with them.
Any questions? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve the approval of waiver to release agreement with Impact Networking and the Dukem Center.
I will second that.
Commissioner Hazen?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter?
Aye.
Motion carries, agreement with Impact Networking approved.
Thank you.
Move on to IPG. Demolition hearings for 8 St. Joe County properties, and we will go one by one. Number 1, 20245 Brick.
Thank you, Commissioners. Before we get started, if I could just say, all the property owners have been served with notices of demolition hearings through certified mail, regular mail, or publication. In order to establish eligibility for demolition, the building department needs to show that the structure is either impaired in a condition that makes it unsafe to a person or property, a fire hazard, a hazard to public health, a public nuisance, dangerous to a person or property because of violation of statute, or vacant or blighted, and not to be maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation. So with that, we'll start on the first one. First property is 245 Brick Road in South Bend, owned by Mary P. Eldridge. Is Miss Eldridge here? Not seeing her. Mr. James, if you could describe the condition of the property?
Okay, so this property is, has the
Name
roof
and record for
collapsing.
Name for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry, Randy James, your building commissioner, St. Joe County Building Commissioner, offices at 125 South Lafayette. So this property at 20245 Brick Road has a roof collapsing in. It's in impaired structural condition that makes it unsafe to person and property. It's a hazard to public health, and it's vacant and not maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation.
And do you believe the general condition of the property warrants its removal and demolition?
I do.
Okay. If there's any questions for Mr. James?
Any questions? May I have a motion then for 20245 Brick?
I make a motion to approve demolition of 20245 Brick.
I'll second.
Commissioner Hazen
Aye.
and Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries. Demolition order approved.
Thank you. Next property is 54483 Whistle Drive in South Bend, owned by Richard, Eric, and Kurt Lindecker. Are any of the Lindekers here today? Seeing none. Mr. James, if you could describe the condition of that property, please.
Okay, so this is for the garage only that was in disrepair. It also has a roof collapsing, water getting in. It's in impaired structural condition that makes it unsafe, and it's a hazard to public health.
And you believe the condition warrants its removal and demolition?
Yes.
Any questions by the commissioners?
Any questions?
No, sir.
May I have a motion?
Make a motion for removal of the garage at 54483 White Cell.
Second that.
Commissioner Hazen,
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries. Demolition order approved.
Thank you. Next property is 24860 Fillmore Road, owned by Richard McClure. Mr. McClure? Yes, I'm here. Hi, if you could approach. First, Mr. James, if you could describe the condition of the property?
Okay, so this house also has its roof is collapsing into the structure, has broken windows. It's open to the water and elements. It's in impaired structural condition that makes it unsafe. It's a hazard to public health, and it's vacant and not maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation.
Do you believe its general condition warrants its removal and demolition?
I do.
Mr. McClure, if you want to state anything to the Board of Commissioners?
Yes, I am
Can
in
you
the
step up
process.
in the microphone, sir?
Okay.
I just need your name and address for the record.
Okay, my name is Richard McClure, and my property is 24860 Fillmore Road. Do you need the property where I live, or just the property at question?
Okay. Do you live there?
No, I do not live there, no. It's
Okay.
just it's a property for a future homestead that a house I'm gonna build in the future. But what I do want to say is, I didn't know it was as much red tape to get a demolition permit. I acknowledge the property does need to be demolished. I am working on that. I've gotten county health septic system permit to fill in the septic system. I got a electrical permit from the building department to move my electric from the house to a temporary service on a pole so I can maintain the electric service there. Otherwise, if I have it totally disconnected from the house, it takes a month or so to reestablish electric service from the electric company. So I'm working on all the red tape and all the permits I need to get the demolition permit. But I do agree the structure needs to come down. I am gonna take it down, and then I'm gonna hire excavation demolition company to remove the cement in the basement, because I don't have the equipment to do that. But what I am asking for is an extension of time. The property is not a hazard to the public because the yard is fenced in with 6-foot chain link fence. The gates are locked. It has 2 gates on it that are kept locked. I have privacy fabric on the 6-foot chain link fence, so it's not a distraction to the public or an eyesore. And I just asked for a reasonable amount of time, like 6 more months, to get it completely tore down, taken care of, because that's not the only thing I have to do. I'm trying to reestablish my business. And I'm taking care of a 96-year-old mother that takes quite a bit of my time, so I just have a couple hours a day to spend on this situation. But I've owned the property 25 years. I do agree the house needs to come down, and I'm going to get it removed. I just asked for an extension of time to be able to do that. So,
Okay. Have you been in communication with Mr. James to explain all that to him and talk to him?
well, I've been in communications with Dina, which is the inspector that has been coming out there. So I did write a letter asking for an extension of time, but I didn't really hear a response from that. So
And how long ago did you do that?
probably 2 months ago, maybe.
Okay. So during that time, did you think, hey, maybe I should try to meet with them, or?
Well, I'm just asking that I be granted an extension of time to get the structure demolished.
Okay.
You know, say like 6 months additional, times. But it is being worked on now. I'm working on I have the permits that I've gotten so far, and I didn't know there was this much red tape and that you had to get all these other permits before you can get the demolition permit. And I've had trouble with the gas company. I've been working with them for almost 2 months to try to get them, because they have to, I guess, apparently cut the pipe near the curb or something like that. They have to decommission the gas line going to the house. And I haven't made 2 appointments with them. They haven't come out yet on any of the 2 appointments I had with them, so.
Gotcha. Mr. James, did you talk about what he talked about?
Yes, sir. So this has been a long process. We'd like to have it affirmed. I'll work with him on his timeline, but we need to get it done. It's been there for quite a while, and the timeframe
Quite
needs.
a while. How long?
Oh,
Just ballpark figure. He said he wrote a letter 2 months ago. I would assume previous to that, you guys have sent him stuff.
so we sent the first official letter on 3/13,
313?
yeah, of this year, and then another one on 4/10 of this year. I did
So this
grant
has been
him,
going on for about 6 months,
yeah, and then, well, yeah,
more or less.
well, yeah, or more, I mean,
So my 2 cents, would you think giving him a 30-day extension, would you guys be able to work of what he needs to communicate, or?
The building department's recommendation on this one, I think, Mr. Commissioner, would be if you could affirm the order, we'd be happy to give him 60 days where we would
Okay.
pursue the order. What would happen is for the ones that get approved today, we will come back before you maybe not next week, but the following week to do bidding. In this case, if you choose to affirm it, we won't take the next step to do bidding, and Mr. James can work with him, give him 60 days to take some action. If there's progress that Mr. James feels is acceptable after that point, then we'll continue to work with him. If not, then we can come before you for the bidding process
Okay,
at that stage.
sounds good. Mr. Hazen, any question or comment on that?
Nope.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve 24860 Fillmore with the understanding that the building department will work with Mr. McClure, hopefully give him 60 more days to get it worked out.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Hazen
Aye.
and Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries, demolition order affirmed,
Make sure you get
subject.
with them after this to communicate what you'll need to do.
Yep.
Thank you,
Subject to the condition mentioned.
Thank you. Next property is 52626 Mark Street in South Bend, owned by Kim and Josh Larison. Not seeing either Kim nor Josh Larison. Mr. James, if you could describe the condition of the property, please.
roof is collapsing into the structure with water infiltration and wildlife getting in there. The structure's in impaired structural condition, is a hazard to public health, and is vacant and not maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation.
And you believe the condition of the property warrants its removal and demolition?
Yes.
Any questions?
Any questions? I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve demolition of 52626 Marks Lane.
Second
Commissioner Hazen,
Aye.
Commissioner
there.
Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries, demolition order affirmed.
Thank you. Next property is 52604 Mark Street, owned by Rich Restorations LLC. Is there a representative of Rich Restorations LLC? If you want to come on up.
Is this next to 626?
Yes. If you want to first just give your name and address, then Mr. James will speak, then you could respond.
Okay. My name is Carolyn Coons. My home address, 14830 Day Road, Mishawaka, Indiana.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. James, if you want to describe the condition of the property, please.
So we do have there was a fire report on this from Clay Fire back in 2015. 2015, and the house hasn't been repaired since, to the building department's knowledge. Also, there's holes in the roof allowing the water to get in, and it's open to the elements. It's an impaired structural condition that makes it unsafe to persons and property. It's vacant and not maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation.
And you believe the condition of the property warrants its removal and demolition?
Yes.
Go ahead. Yep.
Okay. So I buy these houses, and they're desperate houses when I get them. Couple of examples, 821 North Ironwood Drive. I picked that up and moved it from the IUSB property to that lot on Ironwood Drive. It's where the five corners come together, Ironwood and Rocky, the big gray house. I moved that and salvaged that entire house in 1996. 2 years ago, I completed a house on Fox Street in South Bend, 1706 Fox Street. That came right off the demolition list of the city of South Bend. They had already began pulling the permits to demolish it. So I got with the South Bend building inspector at the time, and we placed a bond, and we rehabbed that house. And it was sold to a marvelous family in 2022. We sold that. I just completed a house, and it just sold on last Thursday. It sold in Mishawaka at 739 East 8th Street, Mishawaka. That house had a collapsing foundation. The back wall had to be blown out and completely rebuilt. We went in there and put all new windows
Could you just tell us
in.
about the Mark Street?
Okay, so the Mark Street house, I got that off of a Hub Zoo auction site in 2022. And I have plans to make that into a marvelous family home. Nothing additional has happened to that house since I've had it. I realize there's fire damage in the back of the house. That part would be completely rebuilt. I already have collected bids on putting a new roof over it. My plan was to bring an engineer in there and have him or her look at it and tell me how I could re-stress the house, or if it even needed to be re-stressed, to open the second floor up, because right now it's just an A-frame type house. It's got like a 612 pitch. I was gonna open that up and put 4 bedrooms up there and a bath on the upstairs floor to make it like a lot larger. And then we're gonna make that into just rearrange the floor plan a little bit on the lower level and make that into just a stunning family home that
So
could
the
be
house-
sold.
There was a fire at the house 9 years ago?
I was not aware when it
Okay,
was. We
okay.
tried to
So
find
you
out
bought
when
it-
that
You bought it in
was.
22?
I bought it in 22.
Okay, and how many letters or communication have you had with Mr. James?
Well, they started sending me letters a few months ago, and I tried calling them. There's no extension
Excuse
number
me,
on
what-
that letter.
What's a few months? 5 months, 8 months?
I think I got it maybe 3-4 months ago, and then we had an appointment here for last month. I showed up for that on the 17th of September, and there was a young lady here, and she said, well, that meeting got moved to the daytime today, and they're gonna reschedule it for October. And I said, okay, well, I have my plan here, and a letter for the building department, and I also have, all my information. She took that and said she was going to provide it to Mr. James and/or one of the inspectors on the team. She didn't give me that person's name, but indicated it was probably a young lady.
Okay, so the letter-
And they
the
were
let-
supposed
the
to call
letters that you
me.
got 3 to 4 months ago, you've had one communication by coming down here and you haven't talked to Mr. James?
No, well, I've called there many times.
Okay,
Nobody
that's fine.
answers that number,
Okay.
and you
Mr.
can't,
James, could
nobody calls you back.
Give us an update on the next,
So yeah, both certified letters were signed, and I never got a call or any kind of communication.
okay.
So this is the first I've heard of the whole proposal.
So
Okay.
that girl didn't give you anything?
And Mr. Garrett, would this be similar, if our approval, that you would do the 60-day? Or,
Yeah, that's fine.
We could do that for this one, Mr. Commissioner, as
okay,
well.
all right. Any
Affirmation and
questions?
then 60 days to work with it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, Commissioner Hazen?
No, sir.
I have a motion.
Motion to approve demolition 52604 Marks with the understanding building department will work with them for 60 days.
Second that.
Commissioner Hazen
Aye.
and Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries, demolition order affirmed, subject to conditions stated.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next property is 23809 Lynn Street in South Bend, owned by Frank Uhas. Seeing no Frank Uhas, Mr. James, if you could describe the condition of the property, please.
This property is pretty much almost gone. It's structurally unsafe. It's basically a pile of rubble sitting there, so it's a hazard to public health, and it's vacant and not maintained in a manner of human habitation.
And you believe its condition warrants its removal?
Yes.
Any questions? I have a motion.
Motion to approve demolition of 23809 Lynn.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen,
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Dieter. Motion carries, demolition order affirmed.
Thank you. Next property is 55921 Prince Road in South Bend. Before today's hearing, a demolition permit was pulled for that, so we'll need no action by the commissioners on that matter tonight. Final matter is 54405 Norwood in South Bend. Mr. James and I did speak to David Farhar, representative of the owner Shark Investments LLC, prior to the hearing today. He has agreed to an affirmation of the demolition order, and Mr. James has agreed to work with him and not pursue demolition bids at this time.
So we'll do the same thing, I guess, the 60-day thing. Same thing, it's an impaired structural condition and unsafe to person and property. It's a hazard to public health, and it's vacant and unfit for human habitation. Oh, go ahead and do
No,
your
go
vote
ahead.
on that. I just wanted to say something.
Any other questions on that?
Nope.
So, we started out with 17 structures this year, and we got it down to basically 7 today. So this, I believe this is a good exercise, and we should keep doing
Right.
it. So it's doing a lot of good out there, and I just, thank you guys for funding it and making it happen.
Is the 17, is that like a normal year, or?
That's been the normal for the last couple of years, yes.
Okay, so for anybody interested in the process, that you guys would get a complaint letter, you go out, you say, yeah, this is just somebody complaining about they don't like their neighbor, or there's a substantial thing, but my 4 years, or soon to be 4, it's always been where you work with the people who come and try to attempt to find a way that something will work out for everybody, so we appreciate that, because it's a lot of work, a lot of letters, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of thing goes on, so thank you guys for doing that.
Right, and you can tell by the numbers, we resolve over half of them
All right,
through communication.
very good. You know what
Thank
the,
you.
you know what the city does? Or does, no, we'll go later, never mind.
Neighborhood Services handles
Never
all
mind,
that.
my bad, my bad, my bad.
Do we
If-
need action on this last one, though?
We do. We need a
We need a
motion on the last
motion.
one, please.
Okay, Tony, motion on the Norwood.
Motion to approve demolition of 54405 Norwood with the understanding they're going to work with the person for 60 days.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen,
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Dieter. Motion carries. Order demolition affirmed, subject to conditions stated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
We move on to the auditor. Approval of homestead deduction audit program contract with Tax Management Associations, Inc.
Hi, I'm Kathy Gregorich. I'm the Office Manager Settlement Specialist for the St. Joseph County Auditor's Office on the second floor of the County City Building. And we're asking for approval of this homestead review contract. The last time we did this was back in 2009. We hired SRI, and they did it from 2009 up to 14, pay 15. And they helped us catch a lot of people that had a homestead that really wasn't entitled to it and receiving that deduction. We try to catch those on our own as we go, but it's very helpful to have an outside firm do this, because then they can help us find those people that have homesteads in other states. That's not allowed. They're only allowed to have one homestead. If they live in Indiana, they can't have a second home somewhere else. So we're asking for approval of this contract. It won't cost us anything. The fees come out of the additional money we receive from the taxpayers once they have been identified as an eligible homestead, and then we have rebuild those tax years.
Is this a yearly contract?
It goes for 2 years, it could.
Okay.
It's just a matter of once they get through all of our properties, we can renew it if we would choose to.
Okay. And about how many people will apply and go through with the homestead?
I'm not sure, apply, and what they're gonna do is we're gonna give them a list of everyone that has a homestead.
Okay, gotcha.
And then they're gonna do the research on their end to see if they can find
So it
any
saves
people that
your
don't.
office a lot of work. when
It
you
does,
already
a
have
lot.
already a lot of work.
Once they identify
Right.
properties, they'll send them to us to do the final review.
Okay, very good. Any questions, Mr. Hazen? I mean, excuse me, Commissioner Anthony Tony Hazen.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Now we have a motion.
Motion to approve the homestead deduction audit program with the auditor's office.
Second that.
Commissioner Hazen?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter?
Aye,
Motion carries. Homestead deduction
Thank you.
audit program contract approved.
thank you. We will proceed to PSAP 911, approval of communications equipment purchase with Motorola Solutions, Inc. Do we have anyone online to speak of this?
Yes, my name's Shane Anders. I'm the CAD and radio administrator for the PSAP. What we're looking to do is we have 12 older Apex 6000 radios. Motorola is providing, until the end of the year, Motorola is providing a flash upgrade that will take these radios and put them in compliance with the state's radio system. They're going to change to what's called the TDMA, and these radios are not compliant as of right now, but until the end of the year, Motorola does provide this service that will give us, or provide this upgrade that will provide us more service life for these dozen radios we have that are strictly in the PSAP. They're in good working order, and I mean, there's really no reason that I would see to get rid of them because they are in such great shape.
All right, thank you. Any questions?
No, sir.
Seeing none, may I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve of the NeoGov contract with Power DMS.
Sorry, this is not the NeoGov, this is Motorola.
See, he's
Oh.
skipping again.
NeoGov is off the agenda for tonight.
Okay,
That's
Apologize.
an old sheet.
that's an old sheet. Approval of communications equipment purchase with Motorola.
Solutions, Inc., I'll second that.
Commissioner Hazen
Aye.
and Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motorola Solutions equipment purchase contract approved.
Thank you. Going under the recorder, Laredo agreement for Hanson Professional Services. Anyone from the recorder's office that wants to talk about this at the present time? Seeing that, may I have a motion to table Laredo agreement for Hanson Professional Services?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen,
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion to table approved.
Thank you. Proceed to IT, approval contract renewal with Centrex Service for AT&T phone service.
Good afternoon, Richard Warfield, IT Director, St. Joe County, third floor law offices. This contract is for the AT&T renewal of our Centrex lines, which if we do not renew it, it will go up like 4 times the price that they're quoting us. So we have a lot of stuff embedded with AT&T that we're still trying to identify right now. We have made a big dent in identification of most of the lines, but we still have a little ways to go.
Okay. Any questions? We have a motion for the approval of the contract renewal with Centrex Service for AT&T service.
So moved.
Second.
And Commissioner Hazen.
Aye.
And Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Centrex Service contract approved.
We do not have any old business. We do not have any new business. We will proceed to public comments. Do we have anyone in the room that signed up?
I do not have anyone signed up.
Do we have anyone online that had signed up? Seeing none, may I have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Hazen
Aye.
and Commissioner Dieter.
Aye.
We are in recess.
Yeah, come on up. Were you guys here for a hearing? Did you live on Quince? Lynn?
I'm Mr. Larson.
You lived where?
I'm Mr. Larson.
What was your address? Okay. You're gonna need to get a hold of the building department and follow up with them.
Well, it was at 6
It's
o'clock.
6 o'clock.
We were standing down there, we had to wait for people to come in to go out to even get in. And if you look at your cameras, we were standing out there, we just couldn't get in the building.
Okay. Well, I will, do you have his number? James, Randy James? You know what that is offhand?
I don't.
I'm not disputing it,
Thank you.
No, that's fine.
it needs to be tore down.
Okay.
I know it does, but what happened is I was collecting the cash and saving and doing everything I was supposed to. I had the electric taken off the building, I had gas taken off the building, and.
Write your name and your phone number, and I'll get a hold of him and have him call you.
Okay. But what happens there, gentlemen, was this April 1st, I come home and find my fiance laying on the floor. And she fell and had a ring on her as a passed away. She's from New Zealand, okay? And we have a special needs individual in the home. I had no choice but until her family could get into the country to use the funds to, and I know this home needs to be tore down. I know it does. And I'm willing to work with the state to do so and pay for it, you know? I was stuck in a heck of a predicament, you know?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, just write your information. I'll have him and he'll call you tomorrow.
Yes, it was Richard.
Dick Larson.
Yeah, I was doing everything I was supposed to do. And when that happened, it just,
876-2452? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Recording stopped.